Hi, it's me, King Noble Dumbass again. As you can see, I'm a very clean, well-groomed individual. Like Alton Brown from the TV show Good Eats. Yeah. When I lived in Colorado, I almost had the chance to go see him once and missed it. I didn't have any money. Unfortunately, I think Joe Raso should probably learn to watch Good Eats. While working for his family, while Papa was still alive, I was talking a lot of trash about him and some of his things because it was what Papa was telling me on a regular basis. And one day, to prove to me that he could get his hands dirty, took me back into the bathroom, one of the bathrooms, stuck his hand in a toilet, took whatever was out, threw it in the trash, then walked back out to the kitchen without ever washing his hands. One of the things I learned from Alton Brown was something about Typhoid Mary. Now maybe I'm gonna start spreading that. Since even after I wash my hands, it doesn't do me any good because this shit goes right through my pants. As you saw in the video I just uploaded. So I'm hoping that this gets to the mayor, and hopefully maybe Mayor Juanita Puto can go have some wonderful fettuccine Typhoid Mary. I bet this is going to be a lot of good for you, Tony. Huh? Knowing that your brother fucked up your business. Well, don't just blame him. Don't forget the devil himself, Satanly Dale. See, he was the one that told me that John Caldwell used to be his brother-in-law. See, I'm doing this for John Caldwell as well as for myself, since the Rasos fucked John Caldwell, a longtime manager of Labellas, beloved with the employees. Matter of fact, last time I saw, they were trying to have something where he's going to come in. It was a guy by the name of, what was that Nazi's name? Oh yeah, Earl Schoonover. I once tried to show him some love and offered him a dab. He said it would kill him. I had 5 of them that day. It was on my 6th, and I'd been handling business all fucking day. I once broke my arm there in front of Labellas. Matter of fact, as you can see, the scar to prove it. Wait, I didn't get a scar the first time. I had actually gotten a couple of rulers at, what was it again? I'm wanting to say it's Albertsons now. Yeah, that's what it is. I walked home. I was living next to Joe Raso in that other house that he has, the so-called Playboy mansion he built. It used to have 3 stories, but now it had to take it down one because apparently he got some city councilman fired, approving something without the proper approval. So then city council then had to tear down Joe Raso's 3rd story to his Playboy mansion. Yep, a Christian that lives the Playboy lifestyle, like Joe Raso. He's a cheapskate who, instead of paying for these concerts he goes to at Humphreys, he takes a boat instead. Sits out on the bay with his own beer, with his own food, with his own whatever, because he's too cheap to pay the tickets to go in and enjoy the good music that's there. He'll sit out on the bay and listen to it for free. It's kind of what I did when I went to go see Damian Marley about a year or 2 ago. I came here to this very facility and spoke with Damian's niece right over here. Matter of fact, the security guard, as I was telling him, I was wanting to talk to her. He's, there she is, go talk to her. No, I can't do that. She's back behind a gated area where I'm not supposed to be. I waited patiently until she came back out, and it was free game. I went up to her very courteously and asked her, actually handed her a portrait of her grandfather that I lovingly made with my own hands. These portraits are approximately 1,200 knots I have to hand tie in a specific way so that the picture comes out properly. And the first one took months to do because every so often I'd make a mistake and have to tear it apart and have to tear 3 or 4 rows of knots to find out where I'd screwed up. But once I got them down and I was able to follow it 10 or 20 rows at a time, doing 10 rows, take a break, come back, do another 10 more rows, and then put it away for the day. It's almost 60 rows of knots. Yeah. And Joe Raso fucked it all up for me. The lazy lesbian librarian cunt, Allison Hamlin, who couldn't kick the drug addicts like Tiny Dick Tweaker Ted and Frankie the faggot fucking Nazi from NAMI, where that cunt Connie just lets them do what the fuck they want. They're not supposed to be there at night. There's supposed to be security there. But hey, I'm going to prove to you in a minute, through another video I'm going to post up there, that they're camped out there all night long. Tiny Dick Tweaker Ted tells me to stop burning his locations. Why should I? He burnt mine. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And as you'll notice, one of mine is chipped. That missing one there and the one right next to it is chipped. The chipped tooth was actually a filling. Yeah, Dental Express, downtown San Diego, because my lazy case manager, Talia, at Healthcare in Action, kind of like her cohort, Nick Leong, who took me to lunch the other day. We were supposed to go a couple weeks ago, and he was supposed to take care of some things, which he didn't. He's so proud of himself that he has no work ethic. He took me to lunch and didn't get a goddamn thing done. And he should get to keep his paycheck. Well, I suffer on the streets. We went to court the other day, and he was more concerned about getting paid. Now, he bought me lunch, which I scarfed down really quick, which wasn't much. Cheap crap from Jack in the Crack. Unhealthy food with processed chemicals and things you can't even pronounce in the ingredients. Preservatives. You mean like salt? That'll give me high blood pressure. Oh yeah. Can't get coffee unless I go to Jack in the Crack. I can get it on EBT then. Yeah. I had a couple of videos, and these two videos were both shot at Jack in the Box, right by the DMV, where I was kicking out most of the homeless from the camping out in front of Vista Paints. One of those guys is now over by the DMV on that side, and he's all right. Daniel has mental issues. He thinks that Amelia Earhart's plane is in the park over Eucalyptus Park. He thinks there's a basement underneath the Jack in the Box right there at 4th and C that isn't there. Now, Tiny Dick Tweaker Ted and his band of fuck-ups like Frankie the faggot fucking Nazi. Yeah, all clients of NAMI with that cunt Connie. Yeah, I'm doing this for a reason, because while I have no place to live, and neither does Tiny Dick Tweaker Ted, who has no work ethic, he thinks he has a job, but he's just a volunteer. And he's pissed. He wants to get paid. Well, volunteers do it out of the kindness of their heart. And he can't cook for shit. He, like Joe Raso, needs to watch Good Eats with Alton Brown. He might learn something about cooking that way. Well, good day, America. Thank you, Donald Trump, for destroying the City of Angels. Don't blame Gavin Newsom. I know he's kind of a screw-up, but I'm standing with him on this one. You're the bigger fuck-up. See, I remember the video that Arnold Schwarzenegger did after your January 6th insurrection, when you tried to have the Vice President of the United States murdered. That's why you should be shot in the head, Donald Trump. I'd do it myself, but I'm too far away and don't have my Cobra Adder assault, crossbow. It's cocked like a BB gun, like that kid from the movie. You're gonna shoot your eye out, kid. No, I'm gonna shoot Donald Trump's eyes out. That faggot. He's a fuck up. He needs to be impeached immediately. He's destroying America. And USA is not America. It's one country. Because I believe North America starts in Mexico and goes all the way up to Canada. You lazy bitch. And to those fuck-ups who were insurrecting the goddamn thing. Storming the castle. Where was Arthur? Well, here I am, and Excalibur's in my mouth. It can bless you or it can curse you. I've been asking for my Social Security records to prove this. I sat in at the round table with King Arthur. He trained me to use Excalibur himself. Oh, they don't believe it. Let's go back to the pyramids of Luxor. I worked there too. And my Social Security records will prove this. I also used to drive for ATC Vancom of Nevada, driving 60-foot articulated buses up and down Las Vegas Boulevard, surrounded by retarded Americans that do not know how to drive. They're too busy staring at the buildings instead of paying attention to the roads, the cars they could be hitting, the pedestrians they could be running over. Oh, wow, Death Race 3000. No, I think the movie is called Death Race 2000, and it starred David Carradine, not Jason Statham. Jason Statham was in the remake, and he played Frankenstein himself. Yeah. Whereas Mayor Juanita Puto is following in the footsteps of that sweet transvestite, Mary Shelley Frankenfurter Salas, from transsexual Transylvania, transplanted to Chula Vista for that transgender story hour that bitch had. She likes a fag and drag? How about that faggot Frank Giammi? How about that pompous, pretentious prick Jeff Pace? Or Hugo Cardenas, who stuck his cabeza up his culo, that puto. Kind of like my puto hermano, that mayate Felipe Jaime, who takes after his primo, that puto Marcos, who turned me in for the mota I took to Baja California in the 80s, when it was ilegalmente, globalmente. How the hell did I get it all the way down there? Well, let's see. I had an aluminum frame backpack. I pulled off one of the cords and all these things. I put all this back together and I threw it up on the roof. And hey, we went down to Mexico. When I got down there, I took my backpack off. I tore everything and got the stuff back out. My cousin, the snitch, the youngest son of my aunt Teresa, the Mexican Brady Bunch, she has 3 boys, 3 girls, a dog, and no husband, was telling me back in the day to get my parents back together. I'm saying, hey, bitch, where's your fucking husband? She's like those fuck-ups in Narcissists Anonymous. Because her asshole husband was an alcoholic like my dad. Maybe she should have told my mom to go to school, get a college education, learn to suck some dick like my Aunt Teresa. She was like that slut over at the Chula Vista Library, Allison Hamlin, protecting that cocksucker Curtis. Because, hey, when I call the police, they don't do nothing to Curtis. She calls the police, and hey, they come get me. Because those fuck-ups don't care to protect or serve their community. Yep, thank you, Juanita Puto, and that cunt, Roxana Kennedy. Oh, she's such a slut. She only comes out for photo ops. And this is a special thank you to the lady, and my apologies for being so rude. I was trying to be memorable when I told Kimberly Hunt of Channel 10, the news anchor, that all you blondes look alike. I had to say something memorable. I didn't mean to seem so rude. You're a lot better looking than that cunt, Roxana Kennedy. You're almost as good looking as my cousin Denise, who was killed by a drunk driver Easter Sunday, 2000. To that fuck-up Joe Raso, who can't wash his hands before he goes back out to the kitchen, who's a member of Calvary Chapel, Venereal Beach. They might remember, I actually showed up one day, and they stuck up for that fuck-up Joe Raso. They don't believe in God, because I saw the Calvary Chapel in Tijuana myself. In one of my photos in my photo collection, which I'll try to post later, it's me standing in front of Calvary Chapel, Tijuana. I went down to see my aunt, the nun, La Madre Maria Eugenia Castañeda. As I've told you before, she was a teacher to Yvonne and Julieta Venega. I call them the Wonder Twins. They inspired me to do these videos. Some of the future videos are going to be a lot more peaceful. I'll be doing some lip syncing of Kike Naira, a Chilean who told me, "Somos una gran familia Latinoamérica." Dreadmar, who, from what I've seen, has an ocean of fans at his concerts. I'll be doing stuff like Jason Mraz in Tijuana. I'll be doing, Bob Marley and TJ. Hey, I'll even do some Bob Dylan. Everybody must get stoned. See, I don't get high, I stay irie. It's a state of mind. I learned that from Bob Marley. And I want to thank Cultura Profética because they taught me to sing. Sings my puto tío, Marcelo Covarrubias, wouldn't. He was the lead singer from the band La Familia San Diego. Que poca madre, pendejo. La manera como tratas a tu sobrino, Batman, Francisco Barajas. He's batshit fucking crazy. He thinks I'm Superman. As I just showed you a little bit ago, my skin's not really made of steel. That's a myth. I didn't come here from the planet Kryptonite. I came out of my dad's dick, and he said that, well, the best part of me went down my mom's leg. Yeah, my dad used to tell me, I don't mind and you don't matter. Yeah, apparently I don't, because my mom only cares about my faggot little brother, Felipe Jaime El Mayate. Hey, hope you're proud of this shit, bitch. You asked for it. You and your puto primo, pendejo. That is your last name, dumbass. Yep. You want to protect that pedophile. Your Uncle Chuck, Gray. Yeah. Fed me meth when I was 14 years old. Told me we were going to Radio Shack to get an antenna for the roof. It's funny, he forgot me up in Escondildo. His cousin had to bring me back down the next day. And my aunt never thought a thing about it. Because she's a stupid slut. See, she didn't know to keep her legs closed when she got pregnant the first time with Denise. Her firstborn is now dead. The survivors are the children of the Antichrist, Chuck Gray. And Joe Raso, he won't help me go kick the Antichrist's ass because he loves the Antichrist. He loves the money. The Bible says that's the root of all evil, is the love of money. Pink Floyd couldn't get it right. The Bible does not say that money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And I see a lot of preachers on TV. And I see other preachers who are trying to become those mega churches. They love the money. They don't care about the people who suffer. And it's funny because over at the FRC church, Pastor Tony, he heard me. He seemed to be welcoming of me when I was kicked out of the Refinery Church by Pastor John Yanter. Over there at FRC, which I can't go to on Sundays because I've got other places to be. And at night, Wednesdays, I can't go either because now I can't get into my storage unit if I don't get back in time. And if I stay for that, I'm not going to get back in time. And seeing these people over at the FRC church don't pay attention. You got a homeless guy who, hey, let's all get in his way. And no, that's not caring. That's being self-centered. And a lot of people in these churches are very self-centered. They think I am. I have to be. My life's on the line. I'm probably going to die out here of starvation because Mayor McFuckup doesn't pay attention what the fuck's going on. His faggot police harass the homeless instead of taking the people that are racing up and down 3rd Avenue or 4th Avenue. As I see them racing down there all the time and nothing was happening. I was parked on the other side of the library down there, across the street, and I heard mariachis right here singing Bob Marley music. Yeah, mariachis singing Bob Marley. That's also what kind of gave me the idea of doing this. If Julieta Venegas can sing beautiful music, why can't I? The actual quote from Jason Mraz is somebody else saying that he is an island of something in an ocean of diarrhea. Well, me, I'm drowning in an ocean of diarrhea. Thanks to Joe Raso, Mayor McFuckup, and that cunt Kennedy over at the police station. Good night and good luck, Estados Unidos. Espero que no te chinga todo ese pinche mono anaranjado, Donald Trump.